Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for April 2nd, 2018 is now in session. I just want to say what a beautiful morning it was.
Yes.
The way the snow is hanging on the trees, it was just very, very pretty this morning. And with that, if you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Introductions to my left, to my right is Commissioner Barb Lewis, Vice President. To my left is fellow Commissioner Jeff Benton. Our clerk today is Jennifer Walraven, and our administrator today, Mike Fromer. With that, let's begin.
Resolution number 18-336, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held March 29th, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-336. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have public comment or elected official comment today, so that brings us to item number 4, and Chief Deputy Jeff Balzer is going to present our new sergeants.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Jeff Balzer, Chief Deputy with the Sheriff's Office. I'm here this morning on behalf of Sheriff Martin to introduce our newest sergeants. As you're aware, frontline supervisors play a critical role in any law enforcement agency. Our new sergeants are experienced and mentally prepared to handle the challenges they face. Although Sergeant Troy Ellis was unable to attend this morning, we're pleased to have him join the ranks of our supervisors. Sergeant Ellis is originally from St. Mary's, Ohio, and received his associate degree in criminal justice from James Rhodes State College. After having gained experience at other law enforcement agencies, Sergeant Ellis joined the Sheriff's Office in 2008. This morning, Sergeant Joshua Clark, Josh, will you come up with me, is here. Josh is here today with his wife Becky and daughter Michelle. Josh is a 10-year veteran of the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. He's a Delaware County native. In fact, public service is in his blood. The Dick family, Father Matt, Grandfather Ed, and Uncle Hugh are all former deputies with the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Josh has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from American Continental University and a master's degree in forensic psychology from Walden University. Both of those were earned while working full-time. And Josh also told me one of his goals is to try to get his doctorate at some point. I'm very impressed with his work ethic. Josh is a member of our bicycle unit, and when we asked him about some things he thought about the job, he told us that he finds the job incredibly rewarding each and every day, and although he's been exposed to difficult situations, the opportunity to help people far outweighs the negatives. Josh, would you like to take a few words?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I just want to thank everyone here for the opportunity. You know, being a leader is a step up for me, but when you have such good admin as well as good people you work with supporting you, it makes the job much more easy and much more fulfilling, and especially to my wife and daughter for supporting me through the process. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks for allowing us time to introduce our new leaders. It's, like I said before, the sergeants, the first-line supervisors are extremely critical. These are the folks that, although the chief deputies are here during the week and we are here whenever needed, it's the sergeants who are out there every day at every shift to make sure that things are going right on our behalf. So again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from fellow commissioners?
We got the next generation of sergeants with us this morning as well. Hopefully she'll become a sergeant someday. Thank you. Congratulations, and it's great to have a long lineage with the county. That's really neat. It's in your family for so many years. So congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. You're to be commended for working full-time and going to school at the same time. You have a family, so you are a determined man, and we welcome you to our leadership ranks. Thank you so much.
And I'll just add my congratulations as well. In this time when there's so many in this country that do not show respect for law enforcement, it's very frustrating to me personally, and we're just fortunate to have such good leadership throughout our county, not only in the Sheriff's Department, but police departments as well. So congratulations to you, and look forward to hearing good things in the future. Thank you.
our littlest
Want to
sergeant.
stay? Yeah, thank you.
Resolution number 18-337, in the matter of proclaiming April 2nd through 8th as Public Health Week in Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
Good morning. Thank you very much for allowing me to come, and thank you for the resolution declaring this National Public Health Week. Our Public Health
Didn't
Department
mention
here...
your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sheila Hiddleston, Health Commissioner, Delaware County. Our Public Health Department in Delaware County is truly one of the best. We are known nationally and at the state level as a leader in both our public health efforts and also our leadership efforts. And so we're very pleased for this resolution. We also just recently, if you didn't see it, we made the national news here in Delaware County because of our healthiest ranking in Ohio, but also we are 12th in the country as a healthy county. And that is, again, as I said to you a couple weeks ago when I was here for tuberculosis, it's not just because of the efforts of the health district, but the partnership is led by the health district, and so we're very, very pleased with that. I think Chris Fink, who's one of our co-chairs, was quoted in the article, and it really does talk about the partnership, so we're appreciative of the partnership we have with the commissioners, the rest of the county, as well as all of our other political subdivisions.
And nationally, the article, or the national article in U.S. News mentioned the county coming in at number 12 among 500 healthiest communities.
Yeah.
So that's, boy, that is an honor. And
It
you
is.
do deserve a great, great deal of credit.
It's all of us. It's not just
And
us.
4 years in a row, as I recall.
Yes.
And 5 of the last 6, I think.
Of the years that the Robert Wood Johnson has actually ranked community health, Delaware has been number 1, all except for 2 of those, and those years we were number 2, but somebody has to take number 2 every once in a while. We fight with Geauga County all the time. Not
okay.
really, we're really great partners with Geauga County.
Yeah. Well,
With
congratulations.
that, I'll read the resolution before we vote on it.
Okay.
Whereas the week of April 2nd through the 8th, 2018 is National Public Health Week, and whereas the Delaware General Health District recognizes this week as a way to raise awareness about the critical role that public health and prevention play in keeping the community healthy, and whereas everyone deserves to live a long and healthy life in a safe environment, and whereas health must be a priority in designing our communities, from healthy housing to accessible playgrounds to tobacco-free parks, and whereas we celebrate the power of prevention, advocate for healthy and fair policies, share strategies for successful partnerships, and champion the role of a strong public health system. And whereas the Health District recognizes the residents and other community partners for their part in Delaware County being named the 2018 Healthiest County in Ohio by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And whereas by improving the health of Delaware County, community members become inspired and invested in their healthy, along with the health of their family members, neighbors, and friends. Now therefore, we, the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of April 2nd through the 8th, 2018, as National Public Health Week, and call upon the people of Delaware County to observe this week by helping our families, friends, neighbors, and co-workers celebrate their health. Signed by Commissioner Jeff Benton, Commissioner Barb Lewis, Commissioner Gary Merrill. With that, we will vote.
Vote on motion 18-337. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
I believe we're going to get a photo.
Picture?
Little housekeeping there.
Yeah, little housekeeping, we'll take the tab. Thanks. Okay. Thank you.
Proceed.
Resolution number 18-338, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates of payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0330.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-338. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-339, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So, oh, whoops, go ahead.
So moved.
It's okay, you can make the motion. You seconding it?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-339. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-340, in the matter of authorizing membership in the Interlocal Purchasing System Program.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion,
Good morning, John Melvin, Director of Facilities. This resolution will allow us to become a member of the TIPS program, which is a national joint purchasing association based out of Texas. Our primary interest in this agreement and this membership is Enterprise offers the fleet management program through this cooperative purchasing agreement. There's also numerous other contracts on this, through this program that we may be able to also take advantage of as well. And this is simply to become a membership, and there is no cost involved.
So we've not done this before?
No, not with this particular association.
and we had a very good presentation last fall, and are we getting close to
Yes,
some sort
yes,
of
this is
recommendation?
part of our next steps of moving forward with that program and further investigating it.
Any other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-340. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-341, in the matter of approving a service agreement with Vaughn Industries LLC for verification identification of duct bank utilities project at the Allen Creek Water Reclamation Facility.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion,
Good morning, I'm Eric McPeak with the Regional Sewer District. This contract is needed to complete the design on improvements that we have coming up for Alum Creek. We're using it to identify existing infrastructure like fiber optics and wiring to make sure that we can actually install more and determine what's there and what we can use for the construction. It should help provide avoid any schedule issues once we go into contract with the actual construction bid on that project. So,
Have we done this before at any of the plants, this sort of review?
a lot of times you provide for an allowance once construction is already underway, because these duct banks are not, they're able to be accessed and checked. We can do it ahead of time and save some of those costs. We can, with the larger projects, you do a prevailing wage and things like that. And then if you run into issues, then you have to deal with them after the bid's been done. This way, we'll identify bids ahead of time. So whenever we can do this, we try to.
Do we have experience with this vendor?
Pardon?
Do we have experience with this vendor?
Yes, actually, Vaughn Industries did a pretty substantial project for us at the OECC plant. They retrofitted several motor control centers, and they installed fiber optics. So yes, we do. Very good experience.
Okay.
other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-341. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-342, in the matter of approving a professional services agreement with CDM Smith Incorporated for the Control System Network and HMI Software Strategy Project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion,
So what this is talking about is how our equipment, our pumps, valves, and the other equipment we have in our treatment plants and pump stations communicates to a computer center for our operators to use and interface with that, and also how those computers and facilities communicate with each other so that we can monitor remotely in case of issues, and also to modify the operation in real time. What CDM, they have a lot of experience with several municipalities. They're going to work with us and our IT group to talk about some potential shared infrastructure with our fiber optic network that they've done a pretty good job of bolstering up in the area, and then provide us with recommendations to standardize from here on. It's kind of been, project by project that these things over time have, and we have a system that operates. But as we go through with Alum Creek, for instance, we can standardize our approach to this stuff. It's very technical and complicated. I can't go into it all, even if I wanted to. But this is going to help provide us a recommendation so we have a clear path forward.
other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-342, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-343, in the matter of approving a professional services agreement with GT Environmental Incorporated for the Delaware County Solid Waste Transfer Station Master Plan Project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
This is for a company, consultant who has experience with municipal solid waste districts to help us with a master plan for determining on what to do with our waste treatment or waste transfer station that we operate. We own the property and we contract out operation at the moment. So they're going to be doing a review of the regulations, including current conditions and projected waste flows at the facility, and also doing an economic evaluation for us and providing us with options and some recommendations on how to proceed with the current facility, whether to look at a new site, things like that, to give us a plan into the future.
What kind of timeline on this one, Eric?
This will be a relatively quick one. I expect we'll have certainly, if not a final draft, but very close, and several meetings by the end of the summer.
Have we done this before?
I believe several
facility?
years ago, something like this was done, and they had looked into another site, but those plans were set aside, and they just determined to stay at the existing site for the time being. It's not as easy to relocate a site like this, within a city area or, within a populated area. So it takes a lot of time and strategic planning, and this will help us with that.
The goal is not necessarily to move it, the goal is just to determine what makes the most sense.
That's correct, to do a full evaluation, economic, what works for the community and things like that.
And the funding for this is coming out of the funds that are set aside. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-343, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-344, in the matter of setting the date and time to receive sealed qualifications for the control system integrator for the Delaware County, Ohio Regional Sewer District, Allen Creek Water Reclamation Facility Process Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
This is a no-cost request for qualifications for shortlisting integrators. These are the specialized companies that install and program all of the equipment in the computer communication equipment that we spoke about earlier. This is for the Allen Creek project. We plan to shortlist a minimum of 2 companies. This will provide for a competitive bidding environment, and there'll be a sub under the prime contractor for that construction project.
Do you have an estimated cost and a timeline on this one?
Well, this one, we will hear back from these folks within a few weeks. There is no cost associated with this. This is just so we can shortlist them based on their qualifications to make sure we get the technical competence we need for these projects, or for this particular project. I don't know the exact cost. What'll happen is we're going to ask for preliminary costs potentially, but nothing binding. And then when the Allen Creek project goes to bid, hopefully earlier this summer, they will work that out with the contractor they want to sub for. But it still gives us that opportunity to have a competitive environment as opposed to sole sourcing a company.
Good. We like competition.
Yes, sir.
Other questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-344, Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-345, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Shelley's Retreat at Carpenter's Mill, Section 1, Phase A and B.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
This is a single-family home development off of Stite Roads near Rutherford, south of Home Road.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-345, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-346, in the matter of declaring a public purpose and authorizing the use of Delaware County funds for the purchase of coffee, meals, refreshments, and other amenities.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
This is a safety item. This is for water, drinking water in bottles. We buy in bulk and put this in our vehicles, only to be consumed at unoccupied buildings and remote sites. We have a work rule in place to make sure that they're just, it's not just available for anyone to drink. So they use what they need.
Other questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-346. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Nice job on
Thanks,
the
Eric.
explanations, too.
Great,
that you
great.
gave us.
Yeah,
Thank
those
you, Eric.
email ahead really help.
Yes.
Resolution number 18-347, in the matter of approving plans, specifications, estimates, and setting the bid date for the project known as Dell SR 003-07.21 State Rail 3 South Galena Road, Walnut Street intersection improvement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. You're familiar with our proposed improvements at the intersection of Route 3 and South Galena Road near Galena. This will allow us to go out to bid for that project. Our estimated cost is $1,511,000. That does include about a 10% contingency, so we would hope the actual cost comes in lower than that. And as you also may recall, the state is contributing about a little over $500,000 towards this project, and then the balance will be shared equally between the Village of Galena and Delaware County. So we're looking forward to seeing what type of bids we get.
What kind of timeline on this one, Rob?
Construction would start in July of this year and be done in October.
Yeah, anxious to,
Intersection be blocked?
The intersection will stay open during construction, so we're just adding left turn lanes, northbound and southbound, plus the traffic signal, and then also a right turn lane northbound. So it will stay open during
Okay.
construction now.
Yeah, the main intersection there.
Yes.
yeah, it's a good project. This is something that's really needed, so glad to see it's moving forward.
Vote?
Vote on motion 18-347. Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 18-348, in the matter of approving contracts of sale and purchase for Richard L. and Barbara S. Atkins, James A. and Margaret Spurgeon, and Dennis R. and Krista R. Hoodlet for the project known as Dell CR 14-1.23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
We have 3 contracts we have negotiated for right-of-way parcels on our East Powell Road improvements, and we are recommending approval.
Questions? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-348. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-349, in the matter of awarding a bid and approving a contract for the project known as the 2018-2019 Roadside Mowing North.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
We received 1 bid for this contract. The amount is just slightly higher than what we've paid in previous years. I would note this includes basically the north half of the county. Previously, we had mowed we had divided the county into east and west. After some internal discussion with our office, we have gone to a north-south split with our own crews performing some of the work in the south half on some of the more urban roads that have curb and gutter. So basically, we feel that this is still a good economic value. If we were to try to do this work ourselves, we would have to hire additional staff and additional equipment. So the per year cost of this is about $58,000. We feel that's good value, cheaper to do by contract than to employ additional staff and equipment. So we are recommending approval.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-349. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-350, in the matter of approving plans, specifications, estimate, and setting the bid date for the project known as Havens number 503 Ditch Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
You may recall this is the ditch or drainage project associated with the Belmont Place subdivision on Peach Blow Road. This work will go south of Peach Blow Road, providing a drainage outlet for that new subdivision, which I believe you approved the hearing maybe last fall. So we will go out to bid on this, hopefully get started in May or June this year as weather allows, and it will only take about 2 months to complete this.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-350. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-351, in the matter of approving a cooperative project agreement between the Board of Commissioners, Orange Township trustees, and the county engineer for Bale Canyon Road improvements, Phase 2, 3, and 4.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
This agreement spells out the responsibilities that the township and the county will hold in this project. As you know, we are currently underway with engineering on improvements to Bale Canyon Road. There are 3 remaining phases. The first phase was done this past year north of Orange Road. Phases 2, 3, and 4 are all south of Orange Road down to Powell Road. And so basically, to summarize it, we will pay for the engineering as Ohio law provides, or requires, I should say, and then the township will pay for the right-of-way acquisition and the construction costs. And so we will assist them as we are required to do, and certainly willing to do, because this is a good project, very much needed with the traffic in that area. So we are recommending your approval.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, the timeline on are all 3 phases, the remaining 3 phases going to be done at the same time?
They will not. What we've discussed to date has been Phase 2. The next phase would be probably construction in 2020 or 2021. The township is intending to apply for OPWC funding, and so it may depend on getting those funds, but we're anticipating 20 or 21 to get started on Phase 2, and then probably every year or 2 after that, we'll start another successive phase.
Do you know what the cost estimate for the construction and right-of-way is?
The total project is around, I want to say about $8 million for all 3 phases, so pretty significant.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive. Okay, that's all I got.
Other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-351. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-352, in the matter of approving a cooperative agreement between the Board of Commissioners and the City of Powell for resurfacing of Seldom Seen Road.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
The City of Powell has expressed interest in resurfacing a portion of Seldom Seen Road as part of our annual resurfacing project. Liberty Township is resurfacing their portion, and so Powell, by this agreement, would use our same contractor, would contract directly with that contractor, but we will include that work under our overall program. We'll administer the work, and ultimately the city will pay the bill, though.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-352. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-353, in the matter of approving a cooperative project agreement between the Board of Commissioners, Liberty Township trustees, and the county engineer for West Orange Road improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
This agreement is similar to the Orange Township agreement for Bale Canyon Road. This one involves the section of Orange Road that is just east of Perry Road. If you're coming from 315 going up the hill, if you've ever noticed, there's a slight little kink in the road, and to your left, there's a very steep slope, a sharp drop-off. There's been some slope stability issues there, and so the township's had to recently do some remedial work, but there's a larger problem there that needs addressed, and so that's what this project involves, is basically rebuilding that section of road from Perry Road up to just past that curve, and that's the township line. So just east of that little small S curve is the Orange Township line. And so basically the same arrangement we have with Orange Township. We will provide the engineering, the township will pay for all the right-of-way and construction costs.
Kind of timeline on this one? Yeah.
We are planning to work on the engineering over about the next year, and then the township, as I understand, will go out for Ohio Public Works Commission funding. They did actually explore emergency funding through OPWC because there are some rather immediate issues with that, but unfortunately, that's a really small pot of money that OPWC has available statewide. I think it's about $2.5 million for the entire state. And so we did not get a favorable response from OPWC since it hasn't, unfortunately, it has not yet failed. So, but we'll keep an eye on it with Liberty Township, and hopefully we can get to this quickly and get this section fixed.
It is kind of a scary turn, bend in that road there, so good to see it's gonna get fixed.
Other questions or comments?
Vote on motion 18-353. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-354, in the matter of approving a ditch maintenance petition and the ditch maintenance assessments for Grace Haven CAD.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
This is a small two-lot CAD subdivision off of Cook Road. Basically, this would place their drainage improvements on the county system, and we're recommending approval.
Discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 18-354. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-355, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
We had 5 pretty routine right-of-way work permit applications, and we are recommending approval.
Questions, discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 18-355. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Rob, while you're there, I got a phone call last week while I was away, and you may or may not have received it yet. I sent it to Chris regarding the mural in Galena.
Okay.
Has it reached you yet?
I have not. I actually was out last week and just got back, so I'll
It had to
certainly-
do with, a lot of these things are just miscommunication, misunderstanding. Something, they spoke to us last fall, we hadn't gotten back to them, and I don't know any more than what that emails that we'll ultimately get to Chris, but your name was mentioned, so.
Sure.
If you'd look into that and let us know the status, because it's important. It's a project out there, mural on a bridge, so you probably know more about it than I do. Okay.
I'll certainly look into that. Thank you.
Appreciate it. With that, I believe we're county administrator.
Just kind of getting back at it this week. I know fellow administrators got a lot of sports interest this week that
Well, and
he's,
Jeff, Commissioner Benton was excited this morning. He was very excited for Cy and wanted me to pass it on because he was too excited to say anything, so. I'm passing it on your behalf.
yeah, not only is he rooting for one national championship, but he's rooting for 2 this week with his hockey team. So anyway, so it was a good spring break week for Cy, and
So
hopefully this
Commissioner
week.
Benton's twice as excited.
Yeah.
Cy, anything you want to say while this topic came up?
Sounds good.
Should you be sitting next to Jane?
That's what I was
You
gonna
guys gonna come to blows?
comment
over
on.
There's a chair between them.
there? All right, all right.
I heard the 2 of them are getting together tonight to watch the game. That would really be something, yeah.
I have nothing further
else?
to.
Sorry.
I have nothing
Well,
further
yeah.
to.
You brought this topic up.
Yeah, no, I
did-
brought this
I did
topic
jump in the
up.
middle of it.
So no,
Oh, gosh.
Okay, with that, Commissioners, Commissioner Lewis?
Okay, I went to our quarterly community corrections meeting. This is the first one in the new facility, the new courthouse, and boy, what a difference between the historic courthouse and the new courthouse. It was really nice. Our jail, and we had several different reports. Sheriff Martin was there, Cassie Neff was there from the sheriff's office, David from West Central was there, and of course, Joe Perry, who heads our corrections department, Judge Gormley was there. And actually, the jail now is down to 170 inmates. They've closed 2 wings of the jail. And so something is working here. This is good. They do mental health and drug screening for every person staying in the jail more than 72 hours. The average jail stay is 20 days. Cassie reported she'll be working again on stepping up in the fourth quarter of this year. And she has given both the sheriff and I a proposal because she's also going to be working with me stepping up, so I'll pass that along. David from West Central reported that behavior is worse, actually, at West Central. They're dealing with higher-risk people. They have 146 beds, and roughly it's 100 men and then 46 women, covers 8 counties. And mention was made about where does someone go after they are in jail. And the real challenge here is finding housing, so they don't just return from the same environment from which they came, which was a real problem. And Judge Gormley mentioned that there's so many more community control violations, and he did make the comment, not all of these people need to be in the community. Some should be in jail and then off to prison. And, you know, but you don't know so often until you give people a chance. As far as the monitoring devices for people on community control, the technology has improved, so that's really much better. And Joe also outlined more technological advancements that they're using, even as far as any drug use. And so it was very, very interesting meeting. The judge also said that he has some concerns over a present bill in the legislature on jail reform. It imposes a lot of recording and record keeping on the judges, and he was not convinced that that's really going to help anything, but take up more of their time. So that's it. But good meeting, and I'll keep you informed.
Very good. Commissioner Bennett?
Just a few things. Our littlest sergeant is having a real good time wandering around over there. She's been crawling under the tables, and really, it's been very cute. The Ohio American Planning Association, I think is the APA group, is having a meeting. Their Ohio group of the American Planning Association is having a meeting in May in Columbus, and they're using our 3637 corridor study as the prime, or as a case study on how to plan well for growth in fast-growing communities. So I thought that was a real nice compliment to our study, and we all know that that's very important for the future of Delaware County, and it's good that this group recognizes it. I think Bob is planning on being at that event. Let's see, we had, the community lost a really great citizen I think it was Thursday. Dr. Richard Gordon passed away. He was he was with Ohio Wesleyan, I think most of his career, if not all his career. He was the athletic director there, was the golf coach, was the swimming coach, and very active in the Little Brown Jug Society and so on. Just a really great guy, and he has 3 sons, and all 3 sons are very accomplished professionals and just great guys. I played golf with his middle son on the Hayes golf team. So anyway, really a great guy that we're all going to miss, and he was 89. He was a fraternity brother of my dad's, so family had a nice connection as well. Let's see, the business retention survey results are in, and preliminary analysis showed that I think probably the biggest concern that businesses have in the area is workforce. Trying to get the proper workforce and enough of the workforce. With our low unemployment, it's a challenge, no doubt about it. The business economy here is very healthy. Most companies are planning on expanding. They're pleased with the services and the support that the county and the jurisdictions provide, so I think overall we're in good shape, but you know, we got to work on traffic, we got to work on, you know, the workforce and so on. Let's see, Regional Planning put out their annual report. Commissioner Lewis and I were at the meeting on Thursday, and a lot of activity in regional planning. The area continues to do well. We did not have a record year last year, but it was a very good year in terms of new housing permits and lots added to the inventory. Actually, the inventory is growing, which is interesting. But the building permits were actually down a little bit last year. So, so anyway, again, very, very active group. They're doing good work. The historic jail bids are due, I think, this Thursday. So that should be, I think it's April 5th. Is it the 5th? Okay. So that'll be very interesting to see, just see what we do end up receiving there. And lastly, and probably most important, is there were some significant sporting events over the weekend. Ian Poulter won the Houston Open in the playoff, so that was certainly the most important event over the weekend. And then that sets the stage for very important events, sporting events this week, and that is the Masters, which starts Thursday. So, and I wore my Masters tie in honor of that.
And those are sandwiched around a basketball game tonight, those two events.
Is there a basketball game tonight? I thought the women's tournament was over.
Is there anything else?
That's all I got.
Also, I'd like, Commissioner Benton mentioned regional planning. I was away last week. Just want to thank Jenna Jackson for being there as my alternate, and appreciate that. Information was sent out last week. I sent it to Cy and the two commissioners regarding the CCO survey study they're doing. That's due next Monday, so any input the two of you have in that, please get it to Cy, because we'll let Cy kind of manage it, make sure it is consistent with everything. I wasn't here last week. Commissioner Lewis and I attended the Vietnam Veterans event last Saturday. You very well may have mentioned that last week, but since I wasn't here, honoring our veterans and Vietnam veterans specifically, I think is they're often considered the overlooked soldiers that came back from the war, and I thought it was a little cold.
A little cold and windy, but
it was,
they stood there.
that was a good event.
Yeah.
And Genoa Business, I believe, is this Wednesday?
That's right, Wednesday morning.
We got iced out last time, so,
It kind of, time flies.
yeah. With that, I have nothing else, and I believe we have need for executive
We
session.
do. Resolution number 18-356, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of promotion, compensation of a public employer or public official to consider the purchase of property for public purposes and for pending or imminent litigation.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-356. Mrs. Lewis?
aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
With that, we are now in executive session.
All right. You know what, I should use a blue pen on this.
Let me sign this one, I'll let you in.
Yeah.
Resolution number 18-357, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-357. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
aye.
If there's no other business to bring before us, we are adjourned.
All right, thank you.
Oops.